beginning, my friend.
I made that video. Your response video is just like nothing but weird Photoshop pictures. Like, good one. You really got me. Are you ready?
Yeah, what is the topic, dude?
The topic is...
You're not recording this, right?
Netflix and chill. Of course I am.
No, well, don't record all this extra shit.
I have to.
What are you recording in an MP3 or MP4?
MP something.
Okay.
MP Diddy.
All right.
The topic this time is Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill, and what was the chill part?
Well, that's the kids, they use Netflix as an excuse to have sex with each other.
No, they don't.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it in this episode. Ready?
No, what is the chill part?
Netflix and chill.
Well,
we're gonna break that right down for you.
All right.
Hey folks, welcome to Culture Jack. You're here with Dustin and Anthonie. Tonight on the show we talk about Netflix and chill. Get your headphones on. You're about to get jacked. You ready to talk about it? Bringing up resources. All right, tonight on the show, we're talking about Netflix and kind of what our, I guess, consumption rate is for Netflix, how we consume and use Netflix, what some of our favorite shows on Netflix are, and what Netflix has become kind of an allegory for with the old Netflix and chill. So, Anthony, what do you think? What do you think about Netflix?
Well, like a lot of our previous podcasts, I say let's kind of bring Netflix in from the start. Not long ago, I guess streaming full videos as far as brand new films, older films was really relevant. I mean, pay-per-view has been around for a long time.
Sure.
Obviously on the cable networks, and then they would offer limited movies for limited amounts of time. But I feel that Netflix is and has been kind of the evolution of mainstream video, or heavily produced videos, or what we perceive as videos, not YouTube or television, as the main broadcast center. And since their inception, they started off, I know, small, like some of the other platforms. You look at Hulu and you look at even Amazon Prime, but I mean, Netflix grabbed the ball and ran with it. I mean, so looking at it from, I guess, the start of it, it looks like they started with and actually I used them for it in 2007 with the rental DVDs.
Yeah, they took over. At first, it was funny because a lot of the big, box video stores didn't think that they were going to be a competition. They didn't think that they were going to be a rival to them, like the Blockbusters. And we talked about it in episode 0 how we grew up in a time where there was still video stores, movie stores, and we would go not only rent movies, the VHS tapes, and then the DVDs later, but also like video games. I remember going and renting like Super Nintendo games, Monsters in My Pocket. Zombies ate my neighbors, not Monsters ate my neighbors. But yeah, they came after that hard, tough, and fast, didn't they?
They did, and we'll go into the old school ways of renting videos and stuff, and maybe Blockbuster, Movie Gallery, your locals, because I think that deserves its own podcast, just because it was kind of a ritual thing to go and rent movies. But absolutely, Netflix started off with doing the rental DVDs in the paper pouches. You remember? You'd go online. It was like GameFly and a lot of these other ones. That's where they started. And then Redbox rolled in.
My mom did that.
Yeah, we did. Actually, I did it for a little while. And then Redbox rolled in and really pushed the market as far as getting it locally.
No, I never understood that, though. I mean, would they... I guess you just charge your credit card if you kept it late?
Yeah. It's that simple. But you can get it at you're already at the grocery store, or you're already at the gas station.
Oh, with the Redbox?
Yeah, with the Redbox.
But Redbox, I mean...
It's $1.50 a night for a DVD or $2 a night for a Blu-ray.
But don't they put out like really old movies?
No, they get newer movies too.
Do they?
Yeah. Oh. And they get video games too. And you get, like, you rent a couple and you'll get one free. But, so they came out, and then Netflix discovered that, hey, we got to do something other than this, like, rent through the mail. And they started to really push the streaming platform, and man,
they do both of them right now, though, right? Concurrently, they're still doing the
mail ones.
The mail.
I have no idea.
I mean, I only use it for streaming. Right now, you gonna look it up on the old internet?
I have no idea. That's a really good question because, as far as I know, they went all digital, but I may be proven wrong here in a moment.
Yeah, we used to get that, and then we got both. And then I remember the thing about getting them in the mail. You could set the order of them, the hierarchy, kind of set your queue, so what was coming down the pipe later. But as far as Netflix is today and its current, what are you seeing there?
Okay, so Netflix is now with 3 different plans. They have a basic plan, which is $7.99 a month, which you do not get HD, you do not get Ultra HD. You can watch it on one computer or one device. You get it, which is either a laptop, a TV, or a phone. It's unlimited movies or TV shows. Cancel anytime. Your first month is free. Under standard, you get high definition. You do not get 4K. You get 2 screens. You can watch it on a laptop, TV, or phone. Unlimited movies, TV shows. Cancel anytime. And then what they're calling their premium package is $13.99 a month, and it's essentially everything, and up to 4 screens you can watch at the same time. And that is it. So they are no longer doing the mail service, the mail order service. That's what it is.
Hey, look, you don't need to sound so bummed about it.
I'm just saying.
My wife said, I thought you were sending me a pic of someone hiding behind the desk. It's weird.
That is weird. So they don't offer that service anymore, but they are clearly cruising. And in fact, looking at some statistics, in 2000, Netflix offered to be acquired by Blockbuster for $50 million, but the offer was declined. Netflix initiated its public offering in 2002, selling out 5.5 million shares, and then it goes more and more into statistics. In 2003, they boosted way up, and then it just kind of continues, into the multiple millions, and then.
So, what do you think about this whole concept of Netflix and chill, though? I mean, you're a happily married man.
What the hell is chill?
Netflix and chill. Are you not familiar with this term?
No. Enlighten me.
Let me tell you all about it. I'm hip with the kids, and this is what they say. Actually, this is what the internet says right here. Netflix and chill is an internet slang term used either as an invitation to watch Netflix together or as a euphemism for some form of sex, either as a part of a romantic partnership or as a booty call.
I'm still unfamiliar with this term, sir.
So, like, if I were to shoot you a message and say, "Hey, baby girl, you want to come on over? We can have a little Netflix and chill." You would not come over expecting to watch the latest season of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. You'd be coming over with the expectation. Now, this is really awkward as you're staring me down in the eyes. I've all of a sudden got uncomfortable with the expectation of romantic interlude or intercourse. Potentially.
Well, those expectations will be broken because I will not be joining you in any kind of relations or a Netflix venture either, friend.
What about, okay, so what if it's not Netflix and chill? What if I say you want to come over to Netflix and hang? Would you think it's the same thing?
Yes.
I mean, you just learned about this definition, so really you'd just be like, oh, I'll hang out and have a beer, but I would have ulterior motives.
And you'd probably drug the beer.
I wouldn't have beer.
Well, then I probably wouldn't show up.
This is engaging television.
Yeah. So we're not watching television. They're not watching television. All right,
this is an engaging podcast.
So let's go back to it though. So Netflix gets back on the scene. They're huge. They're a growing company. Everybody starts to use it. In my opinion, they were one of the first, like, fully utilized online video sites. I mean, wouldn't you agree with? I mean, like I remember when everybody else was coming out. I think hearing Netflix became almost like, yeah, I stream videos online more so than any of the
Oh,
others.
yeah. Like if you're thinking about streaming sites and you think about Netflix or YouTube,
Right.
probably Netflix.
For like mainstream video.
Yeah.
Right. Not
Absolutely.
not like creator content.
No.
But let's just dive into like how big they've become. I mean, they've got some of the biggest shows period right now, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, to me, their only primary competition on mainstream cable in my world would be like HBO.
HBO's got some good ones, yeah.
I mean, as far as direct competition.
What so you have Netflix, of course. It'd be very difficult to talk about if you didn't. Right. What show have you binge watched the most? Like if you sat down for one period of time or over the course of a few days and just kind of plowed away at a show, what would be the one that you probably spent the most time on Netflix watching?
Well, it matters just because it matters what it is. You know, like if it's a season show that I'm caught up on, you know, like House of Cards is a perfect example. In my opinion, one of the best shows that they produced, one of the ones that helped them kind of take it to the next step as far as creating their own content. Netflix is one. I binge watched.
Did you just say Netflix is one?
Netflix. I didn't see it.
I just binge watched the Netflix.
I did binge. Well, that's not lying.
They need to come up with a show called Netflix.
Netflix
the show.
Yeah,
it's just like us watching Netflix.
Right.
They probably have it. You have a smart TV, you're on the show.
Right. There's a lot of stuff, man. I mean, I just was binge watching the Grand Tour. I was watching Black Mirror. I was watching Peaky Blinders. But I mean, for original content, The Punisher. I binge watched that when that came out.
They got those Marvel shows on it.
Yeah,
talked about Marvel in the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that. I didn't really watch any of it, but I knew the Orange is the New Black. That was highly successful.
That was very popular.
Very popular. Longmire, I watched the shit out of that. That was a really cool show.
I binged watched both Gurren Lagann and Kill La Kill. They're both anime.
I was about to say, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about over there?
But they're both amazing. Like I watched those from start to finish. I stayed up very late. You know, was very tired. Maybe not the best, most responsible thing to do as a parent. But I woke up in, you know, a layer of my own sweat and feces after I just watched the hell out of these cartoons. Like, they were very good. Come on, don't tell me.
They need to put a disclaimer on that for adolescent adults.
Hashtag relatable, right? Am I right?
No. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But here's the cool part as far as Netflix go, because if you remember when Netflix started, all it was other people's movies, and then they still have contract renewal issues. Mm-hmm. So if anybody that's not familiar with all of the sites do, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, and whatever other, they have what's called contract renewals with some of the videos and some of the production companies. That's when you go on there and you've been watching this movie and it's one of your favorite movies, you go on there and it's not there, or you constantly see new movies on Amazon or new movies on Netflix. It's the contract renewals with the production
It's just like
companies.
A bidding war between these different streaming services, really.
It kind of is. But Netflix, with some of the shows we just talked about, I think changed the game, and that is creating this original content.
Oh, sure.
And then they have the Ozarks. Ozarks was pretty good. That was an interesting show. There's only one season out for that, I believe, at this time.
I watched Peaky Blinders. I know you watched it too.
Yeah, Peaky Blinders. But that's not a Netflix original, though.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It is?
I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, never mind.
BBC.
BBC, yeah, never mind.
But I saw the lineup. Granted, I can't rename them without pulling up some stuff on the computer, but they did show a lineup for some of the new shows that they were looking at. And some of it looked fairly good. We'll see. Jonah Hill, I know, is in one kind of weird-looking show. Again, it was a whole bunch of them crammed into like a very short 90-second trailer.
I think those two anime I referenced may have been Netflix original. And as far as anime is going on, they're releasing a lot of Netflix original content as far as anime. Like they released the new trilogy for Berserk. They also released the Seven Deadly Sins, which was another anime. And there's another one where this kid like sees ghosts and he can kind of like kill people with shadow powers or something. I don't remember what that's called.
Well, talking about anime, one of the best animations that's
Don't
on there
do it. Don't
is
say
F
it.
is for Family with Bill Burr.
I didn't see it.
Yo, you got to see it. If you're a fan of Bill Burr, or you're not, I don't care. If you're a fan of adult cartoon, Family Guy-esque stuff, it's definitely worth watching. There's, I think, 2 or 3 seasons out now. It is pretty funny. And one thing to note, because Bill Burr talked about this, and a couple other creators on Netflix talked about this as well, is they said that working with Netflix from a creative standpoint is incredible.
It's very freeing.
Very freeing.
That's good.
They're very open. They have a lot of really strong creative heads, a lot of strong writers that really get involved with it. And when I say involved, from my understanding or from what I've taken from the podcast that I've listened to folks that have created on Netflix, is they are very accepting of your ideas and want to build you, and they're not as restrictive as a general production company. So, big ones. I mean, like HBO would be a good example. Restrictions.
If you take fucking breaths between when you're talking, it'd be easier to cut shit like that. You're like a gut dimple. Last 3 minutes gone.
Yeah, it kept it going.
No, it was good. It was good.
All right, so let me think. Let me take a drink of water.
While you're doing that, there's other animated shows on there. You said F is for Family. They've also got, I think, BoJack Horseman's on there. I haven't seen it, but heard a lot of people like that one. And then I can't remember what it's called, and I talked to you about it about a month ago. It's the one where there's like the kids and they're going through puberty, and then there's like the puberty monster.
Oh, yeah. No.
Did you see it?
No, my kid was watching it. I did see parts of it.
It's it's incredibly intense, but like it pretty summarily describes what it's like to go through puberty. Like it's pretty.
No, I know what you're talking about there. I'm trying to think on some of the other content, but back to the point with some of the other creators. I mean, you look at HBO. HBO has some of the strongest lineups in television, and they have for probably the last couple of decades. I mean, those guys have been very methodical, very high-end production, which is awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you look at some of the stuff they're creating now with, they've got that show Ballers, which is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and it's got, guest appearances by comedians and professional athletes, produced by Mark Wahlberg, which is
Marky Mark?
Yeah, produced by him. Yeah, and it's done fantastic. And again, we're not going to talk about HBO too much, but I mean, just to highlight some of the competition. Then, of course, they have Game of Thrones, which is like the #1 show in the world.
Yeah, that's pretty
and
good,
it's
man.
like freakish, with the levels that people go through. And then, you can go back to with them as far back as even The Sopranos, which is still in high regard to a lot of people that watch series. So their competition is still there, and I know Amazon's picking up with the online streaming, and there's a couple other guys too, which I feel is a good thing. I know that I read somewhere that over the last couple of years, they have been dang near doubling down on creation.
Who, Netflix is?
Netflix has, yeah. The last few years they've been doubling down. That's why you've seen so much internal creation, because they had to build the foundation, get revenue. They started generating revenue. They reinvested so they could add more content. They started creating small. And then as they've built up momentum, and if I remember correctly, they were reinvesting something like $1 billion or possibly more back into
well, and that's
their
good.
own content.
The Disney is making its own streaming service. I'm sure you heard about that.
No, I did not.
Yeah, Disney they're making their own streaming service, and so sometime in the future, I think it's the next 2 or 3 years, they're probably going to be pulling all of that Disney content off of Netflix, putting it on their own streaming service. And so it was a wise choice for Netflix to really get into this original content creation, because the draw before was coming to see some of your favorite movies or some of your favorite old TV shows that they licensed. But now you come back to Netflix for a lot of these Netflix shows, these Orange is the New Black and the Black Mirror and all the Peaky Blinders, all that stuff. You come back to stream on Netflix, whereas, you know, before you just came for your favorite old movies and stuff like that. So
right. But what this is setting the stage to, with you saying that, is that individualism and the internet television, the fracture, right? To where it's like, I could only get these 3 shows on Netflix, this one show on Amazon, this 2 shows on whatever the Disney network is, this show on Hulu. And what that kind of makes me think about is, like, is there going to be kind of a overall group to join to get some or all of it? Because in my opinion, as far as a package go, and again, I'm not trying to get off the fact of Netflix, but as far as a package goes right now, regardless of what Disney does, you still can't beat Amazon Prime.
Right.
I mean, like, I don't see how you could beat it, because that service is a lot bigger than just the television, because you get the music, you get television, or you get video online, and you get premium shipping.
Well, so I kind of like it right now. The way that it's headed anyway, where it's a little bit fractured, and you got the Amazon and the Hulu and the Netflix and maybe these new platforms coming out. Even YouTube is starting to try and do some original programming. They're kind of floundering for the most part, but they're trying. Is you're signing up for services that you want, for shows that you enjoy. And if you look at the analogy to the cable market, you know, you buy a package, and this is everything that comes in the package, regardless of whether you want it or not. You get the ESPN, you get the HGTV, the Univision, the HBO, but you got to get all of it. With the way that this is kind of lining up on the internet, it's kind of like you get to pick what you want and only pay for what you want in terms of the channels.
Well, to a degree, though, that's where I would have to argue with you a little bit, because you only get what Netflix offers.
Right.
You only get what the Disney Channel offers. And what if there is only 1 show or 2 shows versus, I guess the argument would be for, like, cable. At least for me, you know, I got, I think, DirecTV at this time. And it's like $50 a month. I got it on some promo, and then we get, I think, HBO for another $10 a month, so $60 a month or whatever. A crap load of channels. And granted, obviously, I don't watch all the channels. I watch probably 6 to 8 channels.
Are you telling me you don't watch all 80 of those CD channels with different music playing?
No. And the other 300, including like East, West, and Central. Yeah. But my point is this, is that, so in order for me to get the assortment, I would have to have 5 or 6 different subscriptions, far exceeding my current cable.
So you're saying what would be nice would be able to sign up for the online internet streaming pass for $100, and you have access to all the
something like that. Instead of this like individual, I have to have 18 this memberships.
Monstrosity cobbled together.
I mean, don't you agree with that? Because like as soon as Disney comes out, they're gonna pull Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're gonna pull the rights to a lot of the stuff that you see, the Punisher. You know, unless they wrote some kind of, and they may have have done an exclusive deal with them, and they're going to hold the rights for the Punisher on television. I don't know. I mean, you don't know. You know, or it's
how do you know? I don't know. Maybe I've got secret meetings with the heads at ABC.
Maybe it's an agreement between them, and they're just gonna run their videos on there, because they've already had a online video streaming thing like some of the other guys too. You know that, right?
Who, Disney has?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was called Freeform, I want to say.
No, Freeform's Delta Airlines.
Yeah, isn't that owned by Disney, ABC?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's not what it's called. Regardless, guys, that's it. Throw your headphones to the floor. Hey, don't forget to check us out on Twitter at CultureJack, and please don't forget, hit that subscribe button. And until next week, guys, take care. Hear you on the next one.
ready to go Netflix and chill?
No.
Culture Jack. Tech, games, movies, and more.